What's going on? Legion Nuda here playing more RuneScape Dragonwilds. Welcome to our daily gaming XP grind episode 100. It's quite crazy that we're on episode 100, but I wanted to take a moment to just thank everyone who's been watching all of our content. We really appreciate you guys, and you're a big part of the reason that we've been able to push forward and just seeing all those views and all the support and your messages that you've been sending. So I wanted to thank you. Um, really just thank you guys for basically checking out our content, and we've got lots more content to come. And in this episode, the 100th episode, we're going to be actually going to get blurite ore, as well as potentially trying to find the recipe to actually use blurite ore to craft, I believe, blurite crossbow, I think limbs, and the bolts. So we've actually already found blurite ore. It was not easy, and after going back day after day, just trying to find it, we finally did to find it. And we took a break basically from the idea that we were going to find it, in the sense of basically, finally we figured it out. So that's actually quite nice. Um, it just took a little bit of searching on Discord, and we were finally able to find it. And I did try quite a bit by myself, but I could not find it. So there's obviously a lag right here. This is something that's quite irritating. The only thing I could really think is that because we're so close to the Titanic and the Warhammer base, that basically it does this. So it's a little bit unfortunate, but ultimately we know exactly where to go to get what we need. And I guess while we wait, we could just say that we'll have a 42 range with 19,000 XP. Other big things is rune crafting XP 851,000, cooking 339,000. Loads of work to still do. But let's go ahead. I'm not even sure if it's going to be reset. So that's another thing. Because I actually sort of had to go get this. And obviously that meant that I got it recently. So it's probably not reset yet. But basically, I guess I should go back. So we just walked in, and then you're going to want to come here, and you won't need to. Well, I mean, obviously, I think a lot of things reset with this patch. So you're going to want to use your air ability to jump up here. You can grab this vault core if you need it, but obviously, it's not going to be necessary to do this. So try to time that right, and then you're going to go here, and you're going to jump up here. And this is the blurite node, and it's depleted because we've already gotten it. So I'm not sure what a respawn time on it, but this is where it's at. So really simple to get here, except if you fall like I just did, that creates a little bit of a problem. But since we already got it, we really don't got to worry about it. So we're going to leave now, which here's the entrance. So it's really not that difficult. Obviously, there's a couple traps here and there, so watch out for that. And then the entrance is right here. So really not that hard. And this was the this vault right here. So just trying to give you an idea. And now we're going to go look for the blueprint, which we actually don't have. What I need to do is actually delete this lodestone and make it a little bit closer to the door. So when I come back here, I don't have to wait forever to go inside the door. I can actually just sort of jump right in. So obviously we've got loads of work to do in regards to basically leveling up and keep working on Road to Max. Really excited with this update. I feel like it really brought back a lot of adventure to the game that I think was missing for quite some time, because we hadn't really had an update other than magic. But I don't really think that gave what range gave. I think they did a great job with range, and there was so much new things to explore, and so it was very exciting. And it was also really tricky to find the blurite ore. I don't know if there's any other locations or anything like that. And then supposedly the blueprint is sort of random chance. So there's no guarantee that it's going to necessarily be in a particular spot. It's sort of mixed what I'm hearing about it. So there is going to be a little bit of lag here because we've got our Colosseum here. But this is supposedly where it's at. And I don't see it. So potentially, I heard you also potentially had to open it and then reopen it once more, and then the second time it would be there. So I've got really no idea if we actually have to come back another time and then try to open it and it'll be there. I could try this chest as well. This is a tricky area to be because once I spawn in, then a lot of enemies will spawn in. But we've got our Seattle I can't even think of what that's called. but it's supposed to be a I can't think of it. But we've got our Colosseum out there and a Space Needle. There it is, right there, which I think is really cool. And we're not even quite done with it. There was a lot of more work we wanted to really do to it, and I think that once they come out with Fell Hollow, I can actually make that taller. But I think it's got a really cool look to it. It's really neat, and it overlooks the Golden Gate Bridge we've got going on over there, as well as a lot of other things. So once I finally spawn in here, there should be 3 enemies or 2. One of them's going to be a shaman, and I think a berserker. So I'm not sure what our battle's going to look like. Actually, trying to fight the creatures that are going to be here. Hopefully, we can get inside a chest and sort of take a look. But we're probably going to have a battle on our hands here, actually. And once we're done with this, I'm not really going to keep looking through chests because, from what I understand, it's actually the one that's here. And you actually have to open it once, and then it will sort of be there the next time you do it. So that might take a couple days of rest in the game to reset that chest. I'm not sure the timing on chest to reset, but this used to be a safe place. I could sort of spawn in here and there would be no creatures. And then I don't really know what happened, but there just sort of started to be enemies here. I think it's because of where I had my lodestone, because I think I moved it and that sort of changed it. But I really want to check this chest out, but we've got so much built down there between the Charizard, the roller coaster, everything. So it really slows the game down when we come up here. I don't see the enemies, but there has been a little bit of lag lately when I sort of load in. So I don't see the plans for it. So we need to go before they spawn in case they do. I suppose this is sort of other things I've built. We got that Charizard down there. We've got a pyramid. Uh, Titanic, but I'm just sort of trying to load into areas that might have chests around here and potentially get lucky and actually find the blueprint. It's really hard to remember all the different locations that have a chest near them because I didn't really place these with the intent of being close to chests. So maybe we can get lucky and find another one. Let's see. Nothing here. It's quite tricky, really. Let's see. There is a chest over here, but see, that one's still not reset. We've got all this rune essence we've got to come back and get at some point, because this one I recently opened, but it did not have it in there. So, obviously, it's just going to be a hunt. Ultimately, you're just going to be trying to find these blueprints, and that didn't feel good. Look at all that rune essence over there. But let's just try to find this blueprint. I've heard that it's in the fractured plains. I even checked the chests over there with no luck. So I think there's a chest over here, but I'm not 100% sure. There's actually another chest I just thought about. We can actually, there's one here. So we really went around the game quite a bit trying to find it with just no luck. So the other one that I was just thinking about was actually right here. I think there's a little bit of lag trying to load into this one as well. When I get too close to all the things I've built. So we're going to check this chest really quick and see if we potentially can't get the blueprint. So we've got some issues over here. We're lagged, so we can't even move. So hopefully they don't kill us. But it's going to take a second here to load in. So I guess we'll go over our XP update more thoroughly. We've got 314,000 attack XP. Range, we already mentioned 19,000. Woodcutting 1,001,000. Construction 2,013,000. Runecrafting 851,000. Magic 122,000. Mining 4,175,000. Artisan 4,115,000. And cooking 339,069 XP. So we've been grinding in the game quite heavily. Obviously, we could actually have more XP than we do, but we've been taking breaks here and there. I think it's important to sort of pace how much time you're putting in. Obviously, Fell Hollows come to the game, and it's going to open up lots of new opportunities. I think that it will be really exciting, and it's going to add so much more adventure to this game that's already got so much. I've been having a blast. They've been improving the graphics slowly. For those of you who potentially didn't notice, it's just something. I played the game so much, so it took me kind of a minute to really realize. But lots of different updates with that slowly over time, and they've just done such a good job. But now we're gonna try to find this blueprint because I've got no idea I was just told that basically the chests are going to have to reset. I'm not sure why that is. I think it's sort of stuck on the old game loop. So once you reopen them after, it will sort of have, I guess, the new content. I'm not sure, but I've also heard that it's random. So let's see. We got this wolf over here, which can actually be a serious problem for us if he actually comes over here. But we're actually all set now, so we're loaded in. That's so terrible, but I can't really just destroy everything I've built in the game, and that doesn't really justify losing everything I've worked so hard for to build. So that was a terrible shot. These guys are actually really deadly, but the crossbow is my favorite. Honestly, I didn't think I'd really like it because I'm more of a bow person. And interestingly enough, um, I ended up loving the crossbow. It's more accurate and it's just more fun overall. Yes, it's slower to shoot, but you can aim it better. It does more damage. So there's lots of benefits to it, really. So let's go ahead and drink some potions really quick just to get my health back up. I want to use a large ward stone. I always forget what those are called, and I really haven't been using those for the longest time. But what really made me want to use them again is just basically I've been dying quite a bit in my episodes, and I think those are going to be really important in the game, especially with Valhalla. So definitely something I'm sort of trying to use more, so I don't have to die as much. Also, something unique that happened once all these updates came was all the trees that I cut down on the map sort of respond. So I thought that was really weird. I worked really hard to chop them all down. These ones didn't, but more so in the beginner area. And this crossbow is powerful. This thing can kill one of these tearbirds in like 2 shots. And that's wild because the whip I think takes quite a bit of hits. And then just basically these guys are beasts. They're just more of a nuisance really. The way that they attack and how many times you get hit by them. So I'm not sure if we're going to be able to get the pattern this time because of obviously having to have it allow it to reset. So really not sure, but we're going to try our best and see if we can't potentially. We got to get out of there. Potentially can't get this pattern, but I really am not certain if I'm going to or not. I think we need to go to sleep. That will help a lot really quick. Allow the game to sort of reset a little bit. But we've got lots of dirty water to still work on to get our cooking up. And that's kind of boring, really. I'm sort of bored of using dirty water to level up my cooking. So we're going to have to transition back into just killing animals. But it was kind of nice to get a break from basically killing hundreds of sheep and ram all the time. So let's see if potentially these have reset these chests because these are going to be a good place to potentially look for this pattern. Having a little bit of a hard time. So it's not reset, but I've just sort of got to wait for all those to reset and then I'll have an opportunity to basically loot them again. So currently I've got really no idea of where else I can look in other chests. And I've been told that you can get it from that particular one that's right here. But obviously we've already hit it. And I'm not sure. It wasn't there initially. I'm trying to think of other chests that are sort of nearby here that I could actually look for the pattern. I've checked a lot of them in the Storm-Touched Highlands and there's been no luck. I think it's just random chance as well. And now we've gotten too close to this um, Roman Colosseum. I'm sorry, my mind sort of slipped. But basically now we've got to wait another load-in thing here. So it's really tricky to me of how much time I've got to sort of wait for load-in. I really don't want to destroy anymore. I got rid of quite a bit of stuff already in the game that I did build, just so that way I have a little bit more ease while I'm playing. But I think it's actually at the point. I've got a casino over here I've built. So all these things, but they're all slowing me down. And so it's really tricky. There's just certain things I cannot part with that I've just put too much time and energy, um, and I'm unwilling to do it. So once we leave here, let's just take a look at the map. Where else can we really look? Where are there chests guaranteed? I suppose inside the vaults, but I really don't think the pattern's going to be in there. But I guess we could go to a vault This one we're not going to go to. This one takes too much time, but we did fix it. So now when we load in, it just sort of, you get to go in. So potentially we're going to go check out a vault. Hopefully we get a level in range while we're doing this. And in that way, at least it's still propelling our progress towards max in the game. So at least that'll be a benefit. So I am sorry about the wait because of the lag. But when you've got stuff built as much as I do that takes thousands of ash logs, I mean, we've probably used over, I'd say easily 30,000 ash logs to build things in a game, maybe 40, 50,000. It's really hard to tell. We've just done so much. So I do apologize for that. But they really nailed this update, and they've got so many more that are just going to make the game that much better. Um, Quorum, you can find that in Goblin packs, and it's really, really bad at drop rate. I think we opened like 43 and we got like maybe 4, and then so it just means, but I think that's not really a bad thing because obviously it makes it that much more cool that you can poison your arrows. Obviously, I'm more into the crossbow. You can get enchanted crossbow bolts, which is amazing. Um, it's just really cool. I like how they introduced Blurite into the game as well. I was not expecting that. That was really cool. And that way they could sort of bring back another ore from the game, um, the other RuneScape, and still have purpose, like, because we're so far along. I really thought this was going to work, but it's not going to let me touch the door. So we're not going to look there, but we'll have to go back and fix that at another point. I used to have a lodestone that sort of took me in a cave over here, and I just can't seem to find that. So let's try a couple more teleports and see if we can potentially. I've sort of just forgotten where everything is, like, because I don't really go over here anymore. So I have a really hard time remembering where each lodestone's going to take me, and it's just sort of tricky. But there actually is a chest over here, but we're stuck loading here as well. So it's unfortunate. I really can't explore so many areas of the game anymore because of how much I've built. So I sort of um, really hurt myself in that way. I can't really access and explore the fractured plains as much as I'd like to. I cannot find this for the life of me right now. I sort of built this thing here, and this is terrible. I'm just sort of teleporting around. But I know I've got a cave over here, a cave teleport. This is bad on me for sure that I cannot remember where I put it. It's one of these that's going to take me in a cave, but there we go. But I don't think there is a load in here, but there's a chest over here, so it might actually have it in it. But there's also going to be two bad guys right here. And last time I came here, there was actually a really long spawn time. So I'm not quite sure why that was actually. I think I've just got to make a decision to start destroying some different things. That way the game can load in a little bit easier. That really kills me, but I think it needs to be done. But not quite sure how I'm going to address that yet. This loading thing is terrible. Um, I've got to do something about it. I am not entirely sure what I would get rid of. I guess I could get rid of the swinging pirate ship, the waterfall demon, but those things still sort of bother me because to get rid of them, I'm not even sure how much I would have to get rid of to change the way things are sort of going in the game right now. How much stuff would I actually have to delete? And I have no clue as to how much that is. So if you guys are planning on building some massive project, just remember that it can actually really hinder your game experience and sort of just make it very unpleasant, especially since I originally had the Zazima 99 store and then I moved everything to my new base location, and that took so long because I had to wait for the load in every time. So we are going to check the chest over here and potentially see if we can't get this pattern. But, and I actually just, this is terrible because we've wasted so much time sort of just running around, waiting for loading. So, really terrible. But ultimately, I think it just means that we're going to have to start really deciding some of the things that we want to get rid of in the game, that we don't really need. Because obviously we want to be able to experience the game and have fun. Here we go. And that's why we got those ward stones, because so often we used to come in this cave all the time to basically. We got a potted red berry bush. So that's another thing. That's another reason to start hunting all these chests. Is I've noticed that's the second new pattern I've actually got. So you're gonna find lots of new things. I think it's more for the construction skill. I'm not 100% sure. I know it's potted though. See, in my head, I think farming potentially, but I really don't think that they've introduced that already. So we were going to try to go inside this dungeon and potentially take a look, but I think that would be too hard. So what we're going to do now is, because we can't actually get the recipe because that chest has to reset, I think we're just going to level up our range really quick. I think that's what we're going to do. And then I guess in the next episode, we're going to have to find that blueprint. So that's sort of the plan right now. So if you guys plan on sort of checking out more of our content, we will be discussing where we found that blueprint so we can actually make blurite bolts. And I believe it's blurite limbs and blurite crossbow. So it's probably just going to have to happen over time. Obviously, it's going to take time for the daytime to go away. I think it might be like a 5-day span on chests. This is crazy. So this is another unique, interesting thing. I've hunted out here for ages, and I've only seen 0 direwolves, except when the patch came out for ranged. That's when I first saw another one. So what I'm noticing is they've added direwolves to this area in a much more, well, basically I've never seen one. And then the patch came out, and then I started to see them. So I'm guessing they sort of changed the respawn rate, or sort of added it to this area, because I've never encountered them before. And then the patch came, and it was just like, now they're here all the time, which is great because I really don't have a lot of resources from them, because it's just sort of luck whenever you can potentially find one. So let's go over here so we can try to find some more monsters to fight, so we can level up our range. And you're going to see lots of stuff all at the ground over here, because we've been killing lots of sheep and ram. And we just really, once our inventory is full, since we've been working on range, we don't even pick anything up anymore. We're sort of just leaving everything on the ground. We don't really care. We've got thousands of pretty much everything in the game. Not quite every item, but most, or hundreds for certain things that would take multiple to make. And then it's just crazy. So we're almost leveled right now, and we're just going to try to kill a couple more sheep. We're probably going to leave a lot of the stuff on the ground that we don't necessarily really need to pick up. But crazy how you find out about leggings of lightness, which I believe you can get the pattern on the windmill in the beginner area of the game. Basically allows you to hold more weight. There's just so many things over the course of time that you learn about. What's going on over there? The sheep and the plant are sort of having a little battle. But this should be it right here. These last 2 ram probably should level us up. So there we are. We've got 43 range. And then I guess we're going to go here and potentially pull out a little bit of dirty water. And then, let's see. Maybe we could put a little bit of stuff away. Maybe we won't do the cooking on this episode. I feel like there's my blurite bars. So let's see. But you can't really do anything with them. That's the problem until you get the blueprint. So let's see what we can put away. We've got quite a bit of stuff. We've actually behind the scenes put a little bit away as well. So we would have a little bit more, but we've been trying to sort of tidy up. I think I'll also open up a little bit of goblin packs and potentially try to get some more quorum, just for the sake of it, just for the video. We could try to go to sleep one more time and then check out a couple more chests out in the fractured plains. But these are all full. Let's see. We've got ram horns here. We've got bones. Bird's nest. We really don't do any more wood cutting. We've sort of done doing that. They also changed how fast you can open up goblin packs, which is actually really nice. But I'm going to open up a bunch right here until we get a quorum. But you're going to see how terrible it is for the drop rate. I imagine they may or may not change that, because, I mean, obviously it's a really cool ability to be able to poison your arrows. There's one right there. But ultimately, I sort of like the fact that it takes so many to do it. It just means you've got to put some time into the game and to really enjoy that. And I think that's really cool. I don't really want everything in the game to just come over like the course of a couple minutes or something like that. I quite like the fact that you've got to work for it. So, what is going on here? I wasn't paying enough attention, and we've got a warband attacking our base. What's unfortunate, really, about this is just that basically, what is going on? My keyboard is not responding. So, we might actually die here just due to that fact. So, we're probably going to have to try to kill these guys without even using a whip or anything like that, which we already took a significant amount of damage, and then there's going to be another group coming after us. So let's hope we can survive this. The keyboard is not allowing me to basically switch weapons. So this puts me at a huge disadvantage, as I really wanted to try to use the whip to take these guys on. It's interesting, the space bar is working, but nothing else is working. There we go. Very weird. I was not able to do anything, so... And we're already kind of in a position now where we took quite a bit of damage. But it looks like we got a little bit of time. We can actually use some potions and then go ahead and recover our health. You got rangers shooting me. This is pretty awesome, though. Obviously, I've died before in this situation, but I've gotten a little bit better at it. It's just really basically practice. They sing quite a bit at you. But see, this is actually quite nice because you get all these goblin packs. And I know that a long time ago I talked about basically saving goblin packs, saving Garu packs, saving birds' nests, and because potentially seeds for farming were going to be in it. And I know I received a little bit of kickback from that. People were basically like, so what you're trying to say is we've got to wait to play the game like a long time. And it's not really about that. What it's about is basically not having to do everything twice. Because with a game like this, or I mean, I guess not necessarily, but you see how hard it is to get quorum. So, if you had just saved a ton of goblin packs, then you would have had tons to open and benefit from it. Obviously, right now, I'm going to open up a couple because I want to get my quorum so I can poison arrows. But for the most part, I'm going to save them still because the seeds are basically, that means you're just going to have to kill thousands of goblins basically to benefit from everything that it's got to give you. So I think it's important to just wait and to continue to wait. So that's my suggestion. So if you can and you don't mind waiting, I think that's the right way to go. So let's go see if potentially any of these chests have reset, and they have not. But we are going to go to sleep here in a second, and we're going to come back and check them, and then we're going to come back and do an XP update. And then in one of our future episodes, we will be showing you which chest actually gave us that. Because obviously I want to help you guys out as well. And so yeah, but these are my iron bolts. Let's see. I need to get more of those cores, the ward stones. They are quite useful because I run into so many problems. And then there's shrapnel, which is really important. And that's just sort of a rare thing that I think you can get from basically either smithing or firing with your arrows. It's really rare, though, it seems. So it might happen more when you're smithing. I'm not 100% sure. But, I mean, look at this army of mannequin soldiers. So for me, smithing isn't really something that I do anymore. We've got like 275 shields, bronze. We've got all the armor on top. We've got more sets up there. We've got all these soldiers. So I think it's really tough. I think it's really difficult to basically sit there and think that I'm basically going to be able to do any more with it. I think I've sort of made enough armor. But obviously once there's an update in the game, we will be doing that. And but for right now, I feel pretty good about where we're at with all that. So just got to wait for nightfall. And then we're going to go check the chest again. If they haven't responded, we're going to do an XP update. And then we will be showing you guys in the future where you can actually, or where we got the blueprint. But interestingly enough, I think it's going to be different. I think it's going to be a random spawn. That one's still not ready, which makes sense because we just got that one. Let's take a look. We just got that one. It's not ready. trying to remember all the different things we did, all the places we went. We just got that one. Not close enough to this door, but it's not supposed to be in here anyway. Where was the other one that we were going to check? I guess we could check this one. It's not closed. So it's going to take multiple days for these things to respond. So I'm not actually sure when we're going to be able to check the chests again. I thought really that they would have already responded by now. But ultimately, let's see if we can get one of these. Oh, we got him. That was a crazy shot. Missed that time. Got him. So ultimately, we're going to keep working on range and all the different things that we still need to work on in the game. I could have swore there was a chest over here by this door, but there's also a bad guy over here. So no chest. No. Okay. So ultimately, I'm not entirely sure where to look. There might be one out here. This is a base I built. I don't really talk about that much, but I built it right outside this walkway that's going to lead us to new things in the game. So let's see, there's a chest over here. There's 2 chests. So we've got 2 opportunities, just so you know where we're at right here. Let's see if we can't actually get it before we end the video. So no luck. A fractured cape. So we've actually got a new cape that we never had. Now we've got 2 bad guys here. So this is 3 bad guys. So I really want that chest. So in order to do this, this is going to be tricky, that's for sure. My keyboard is not responding again. I'm not really sure what's going on. But I think we're going to be okay. We can sort of kite them around. And hopefully that will allow us to be okay. We've still got the ranger over there. So he's going to try to find a position that basically is going to disable us. I'm sorry, find a position so he can attack us. So we killed one of them. And hopefully his life doesn't go back, because that would really actually suck. We got him. I don't know. There's the ranger right there. We missed that shot. It's unfortunate. Hopefully we can actually get it from this chest right here and sort of be done with it. That's not it. But, oh my gosh, we got 2 more that were sort of just hanging around. But ultimately, those looked like prime chests to potentially hold what we wanted, but it just didn't happen. But that's okay. At least we know now that those... I mean, well, then again, I said that the game has to reset. So you sort of basically have to wait anyway. So there's no way to know whether or not those were actually going to have what we needed, because the game itself sort of... You have to open up the chest supposedly twice. Once to reset, and then the second time is basically going to be the time where you're going to actually potentially get what you were looking for. So really, those were bad examples. But there's really, that's pretty much it. So let's just... I mean, we really didn't work on that much, but we'll do like a small XP update, just sort of get going here. 314,000 attack XP, range 20,000 XP with level 43. Woodcutting 1,001,000, construction 2,013,000, runecrafting 851,000, magic 122,000, mining 4,175,000, artisan 4,115,000, and cooking 339,069 XP. So nothing major, but obviously we showed you guys where you can get blurite, and so Ica, which is going to also be used with the quorum to make poisonous potions. You can get this from killing the putrid rats in a swamp. And then the quorum comes out of the goblin packs. So we've really just got to try to find a blueprint. But anyway, guys, we really hope you guys are enjoying our content. 100 episodes in, and we've got plenty more to come. And hopefully you guys are enjoying your adventure and your travels through RuneScape Dragonwilds. And as always, until next time, Legion Luda out.